She gave you the finger.
Where's the pretzel bunnies?
Give us a like and subscribe and comment and click the bell. It's Super Tuesday. We're live today. We love talking superheroes on Super Tuesday. I'm James, and joining me today is, on top of me right now, sounds weird, is Andrew Fantasia from the Andrew Fantasia channel. And below me is Casual Pop Fan, Steve from the, he doesn't have a channel, but give it up to him. He's here, you're here. Thanks for joining us today. Super Tuesday, talking all things superhero related, live answering your email questions, and just having a good time doing it. Before we get started, thanks guys for joining me.
Hey,
Thank you.
Neither one of you mean that, but I appreciate the sentiment regardless. The way this
He's
show
on
works,
to us, Steve.
Just a little bit.
just a little bit. Now, the way this show works, if you're new, we just talk about superhero stuff on Tuesdays. And if you have an email question or a comment down below with a question, this is where we usually answer those if they are superhero related. Today, we're going to be focusing on what do we got today? We got some Black Adam, some Superman, some Batman, some Thor, some Moon Knight, and everyone's favorite Avenger, Hawkeye. We're going to talk a little bit about Hawkeye as well, because Hawkeye, Hawkeye doesn't get enough love, does he?
He's like Bruno. We don't talk about him, but we should, because it'll clear up a lot of misunderstandings.
I still have never heard that song ever.
Just wait for the musical, folks. It's going to be great.
I've never heard that song. All right, so we have a rundown right now, but before we get to it, I want to go to our first email question, guys. Our first email question is the following. Hi, guys. Saw your last Superman video and Black Adam video and was wondering if you think Superman will appear in Black Adam. Thanks, Ezra. Thank you, Ezra, for that question. Yeah, Andrew, you and I did that video last week on the Shazam reshoots, and they say that there's going to be possibly that they were to include an actor who was not available during shooting that they wanted to include. And a lot of the comments that I was getting on that video was that people were speculating, oh, maybe it's Superman, because we kind of talked more about Shazam. We're talking about this, but I still think it's more likely that it would be Shazam in that scenario more than Henry Cavill, because they don't have Cavill signed, and that's really the hardest part. And Steve, you brought up before we got on here, what do I consider a Superman cameo in Shazam an actual cameo? And I say hells to the no. You got to see Superman's face. Peacemaker is like on the edge. I'm not really sure how I feel about that one yet. Andrew, though, what are your thoughts? Do you think that they will do what everyone, if they did this, Black Adam could maybe go toe to toe with Thor: Love and Thunder box office numbers, but do you think there's a chance that we will get Black Adam and Superman together in this Black Adam movie?
I hate to be this guy, but I don't think there's a chance in hell.
Boo!
I know. I'm so sorry. I mean, look, every human being on the planet, except apparently the people calling the shots at WB, want to see Henry Cavill back as Superman. However, I think there's a time and a place for it. So even if all of those executives suddenly either A, came to their senses, or B, were replaced by executives with better common sense and they put Cavill back into the DCEU, I don't think this is the time or place for it, because it goes back to that whole feeling of this is Black Adam, and who do you want to see Black Adam on screen with? You want to see him on screen with Shazam, because they just go hand in hand. It's the same thing with a Venom movie. If everybody's like, oh my God, are we finally seeing Spider-Man? Nobody is like, oh man, I really hope Kraven shows up in this movie. It's just like, you can see how there's a connection, but there's somebody that everybody would rather see on screen with this character. So I am unfortunately not setting my Cavill excitement alarm for this July, but I feel like something is stirring, and he's coming back. He has to, please. We need him back, just like in Justice League. We need to resurrect him from a soup.
Steve?
I feel like if he's going to be back, they're going to plaster that news all over the second he puts his ink to the contract. Because how much goodwill will they get if they can put out there, Henry Cavill is back? I don't think they're going to, I'm not saying waste it, but they're not going to save it for a little 2-bit cameo in a Black Adam movie, which is being carried by The Rock. They don't need an extra boost. The Rock's going to sell that movie. So they don't need to have pigeonhole or wedge in any kind of Superman reference. I mean, there might be references. Don't get me wrong. There might be a little reference here and there, a little tongue-in-cheek nod or something. But I don't think you'll see Cavill in it at all.
You know, here's where I'm going to disagree with you, Stephen. We can have a fist fight later. Is the Rock will definitely carry it. You're right. But if you throw in a Henry Cavill Superman end credit scene that teases the next installment or the next wherever they're heading, that could put you over the top. The Rock could get you to the top, but Superman, because that big showdown could be there to put you over the top.
I think Andrew had it right though, where you're not setting up Black Adam versus Superman. You're setting up Black Adam versus Shazam. Shazam, where it's at.
If they are, I think Black Adam and Superman. The Rock even wants Black Adam and Superman. He's hinted at that. And The Rock, the one thing people are forgetting, though, with The Rock is he pulls a lot of weight over there right now. Like WB, the merger has happened in Discovery and all that, but they're still in shambles. And the Super Bowl had that DC trailer that they released stupidly. Yeah. But that was reportedly because The Rock wanted that, because The Rock said you need to have an appearance in the Super Bowl. You need to be present in the Super Bowl. So he actually demanded. So he pulls a lot of weight. And if he wants Black Adam and Superman to go toe to toe, and the thing is, like, you think of like Thanos in the MCU, Superman. You bring Superman in for a little tease, and you're like, "There's your taste." Then you get your Shazam movie out of the way, and then you have those three going forward. Like, you got to plant the seeds, and I think the promise of Cavill coming back, if you put that in with Shazam, you could announce that he's back first, like, oh, we got Henry Cavill back, blah, blah, blah. And then he appears in Black Adam. I just think that would excite fans to beyond all reason. I just think that like, you want a winning combo, you want to win back the fans that you've been losing, and you don't like Steve, you're always like, I don't like DC, I don't know how to feel. Like, you want to win those people over, you bring him back and you show, even if you don't actually have one, you pretend, you show that you have some kind of a plan going forward.
Yeah, that sounds, I mean, it'd be cool for them to do that. All you needed at the end of Avengers was to see Thanos' face and know a gist of what the plan was. So something along those lines, a character appearance or a line of dialogue that spells out without spelling out, here's where we're going, would be beautiful. So hopefully that's what these reshoots are doing. If they involve Cavill, great. I don't think they will, but I think that's the important bottom line here, Ezra. Thank you for writing in, is that whatever this reshoot Black Adam stuff is going to be, however it's going to change things, we should all be hoping and praying that it's going to be pointing the gun in the direction that DC wants to shoot at. We should see the target. We, the audience, should see the target once this movie's done.
Does it have to be Cavill? Could it be someone else filling in a Superman? Are we going to get Dean Cain back? Or are we going to get somebody new?
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
They're building a really crazy Christopher Reeve puppet. It looks so lifelike.
Their Superman stuff is very tricky right now over there, because you have Cavill, which I think a lot of people like Cavill, and even people that didn't like the movie he was in, I think a lot of people still like respect that he was a good Superman, and a lot of people say, oh, he just didn't get his due and whatnot. And I think I think he was a great Superman. It's hard to say he's the best Superman when there's been three theatrical ones, and two of them were basically the same person. Like, it's kind of tough to do that. But I think he's very solid. So you have that fan base, and if you bring in another one, you're just going to piss them off. One thing I noticed with the Batman coming out that people have kind of been saying, like, low key, and it hasn't really bothered many people, is they're like, there's just too many of them now. Like, they're at a point now where it's like there's too many Batman actors, versions of Batman, where they've almost stopped caring now. And you draw, and the thing is, you have your favorite Batman, and when there's too many of them, all of a sudden it's like, I just want to go back to that, to X, right? And I'm not saying bad, I'm just saying, so that's, you get, like, I think there's a problem there with reverse typecasting is going on. There's too many actors playing these characters. I think people just want to see the same one, but also there is the Coates script is coming in, and that might be a Black Superman with J.J. Abrams. No one really knows about that. There is word that they might be leaving the door open for Cavill to return in that one. And there's also the Michael B. Jordan one with Val Zod, which they're working on over there too. So now, are you going to have too many Supermen running around at the same time? And I know, Andrew, you said on our Friday show, you're like, oh, but the multiverse, or you said this on our Joker and Harley Quinn video, you're like, the multiverse, different actors can play different things. But the one thing that I was thinking about with that Sony and Marvel did the multiverse that worked perfectly and understandably, and which is why I think they can get away with like an Andrew Garfield being in the Sonyverse if they chose to, is because we had Sam Raimi and we had Mark Webb, and then we have the MCU, right? But what the MCU did was, it wasn't like, oh, here's 20 different Spider-Man. Like Spider-Verse, they had all those different Spider-Man, but that's different. But in this one, it was like the Spider-Man we got were Spider-Man that we've seen in other movies. But the reason why we can go back to those versions of those characters now is because they came into the MCU. They kind of reestablished themselves as being something. So they're a part of the universe now. So even if they go to a different one, they're a part of the universe that we know. Whereas in DC, if they're just like, no, it's another Superman, it's like, but there's no context to it. Yeah. And then there's more confusion, right? So you got to bring it in. So that was something I was thinking about today, where they're allowed to do it because even though it's not the MCU, it's still the MCU.
Yeah, and this way DC would be, if they're trying to create a crossover in the future, they're reverse engineering the multiverse thing, and then it's just like, that's a headache for a lot of people.
We saw what Vulture did with that.
Yeah.
Or Morbius. Yeah, we saw that. There's a right way and a wrong way to use the multiverse, and Sony has showed us both sides of it.
Somebody needs to put what you just said on a shirt.
There you go.
Look, I would love Cavill to be in Black Adam. I don't think he's going to be in Black Adam. I hope he comes back though, for whatever the heck they have planned. They're saying there are plans, but I don't trust anything yet. Even though I know everyone's like, "Oh, the merger." I still don't trust anything that I hear coming out of anyone's mouth.
Agreed.
Over there at all. All right, let's go on to our next email question. I'm going out of order from the rundown I sent you, so I hope you didn't memorize anything. Hi, James. I saw the Batman on HBO Max, and I mostly liked it. But do you think it's time for Batman to be fun again? Ooh. Thanks for taking my question, Blake. That is a great question.
Great question, Blake.
I watched it again as well, and I think, look, you guys know, I think the Batman is a very well-made, great movie. It's a great Batman movie. But when I do watch it, because I actually just watched No Way Home like a week ago, and now I watched this, and they're very different movies, obviously. But that begs the question, right? Should Batman go back to being fun? And I like this because, it is an adult movie, and people are like, oh, I really like the adult side of it, and blah blah. But at the same time, there's something to be said for fun, and for something for Steve, for you, like taking your kids to go see a movie and enjoying it with them. And they could, and there is a fine line. And I think, Andrew, you might even argue that the Batman is fun. I don't know what you're going to say, but I think like the Batman, I think it's a very well-made movie. It was a great movie, but I think it also begs the question, if it was a little bit more fun, would it have reached that $1 billion mark at the theater too? I really liked it. Again, I think it's a well-made movie, but it's not the fun Batman and the thing is, the MCU has really pushed fun on us, and maybe it's not what people want. Andrew, what are your thoughts?
That is a really great question, Blake. Fun is tricky because fun really is in the eye of the beholder at the end of the day. I just watched Batman like an hour ago because it's on Crave now, and I had a blast, even though it is a dark, moody, disturbing movie about serial killers and rats. When
the rats show up, you're like, rip off your shirt. You're like, this is what I came for.
I had a big question mark painted on my chest. I was like a Packers fan. It was awesome. So there's going to be fun. And if you look back at Batman 1966, one of my favorite things about that movie is it begins with a message from the filmmaker saying this movie is dedicated to all those out there who just love fun. And I think that's so beautiful because it's like the director is saying, look, we know this movie is just a pile of sugary cheese, but it's fun. So thank you for understanding that and just being along for this candy-colored ride with us. So I love that kind of fun, and I love this Matt Reeves Batman kind of fun. But Blake, I think the fact of the matter is, and it's a sad fact of the matter, that it just seems to be the case right now, is Hollywood is not a proactive industry, it's a reactive industry. And we won't see Batman become that kind of fun again in the mainstream until the darker stuff becomes overwhelmingly negatively received. And so far it hasn't. From Batman Begins to now, it's been nothing but positive stuff. Apparently, a few people hate Dark Knight Rises. I still don't understand that, but there is that. So until we get to the point where audiences in general just seem to be sick of the dark, I don't think you're going to see Hollywood change course. But luckily, we do get cool stuff like the Lego Batman movie, which is a ton of fun and a really, really good movie. So it's still going to be made. You're just going to have to look a little bit harder for it. You're going to have to be a detective like Batman to find the little fun nuggets, because they are still giving them to us.
Yeah, we touched on this kind of somewhat a few weeks ago, where we talked about, could they make another Batman movie like the Adam West Batman? Could that exist in today's world? And I think we kind of overwhelmingly said not entirely. And it definitely wouldn't be the commercial success that the Batman or the Dark Knight Rises, Dark Knight series. It wouldn't be that as successful as that. But there's a niche market for it. Like I said, my kids don't have a Batman. When we were all kids, we went and saw Batman and Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman Robin. We had those movies, but we watched Batman Begins recently, and that was a little iffy. But they saw Lego Batman movie, and that was his first big screen Batman movie, was Lego Batman. So he loves it, and that's the one he's connected to, and that's one he's drawn to. But I don't see them making a live action with, insert actor here, and having it be the fun Batman that we're talking about here. I don't see it in today's world.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It is a fine line, and and I hope, to Andrew's point and your point, I hope they don't panic like we talked about last week. Warner Bros. And Sony panicking. I hope they don't panic, because the last time they did that, and I love it, but we got Batman Forever, which led to Batman and Robin, which led to the death of Batman for a few years in the theater. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. You don't give a knee-jerk reaction. You kind of let it play out. And look, the Batman was well received. I'm curious how it's going to, what the shelf life of the Batman's going to be. I think it's going to be a movie that in 20 years from now we're going to watch and we're going to appreciate still. That's how I feel. And I think there's a few superhero movies that I really, really like that. I think the Batman is one of them. We got a thing right here. Is Christian Fernandez just brought this in. Ezra Miller got arrested again this morning before his court meeting. It is sad news. And I Googled it, and yep.
What
who
for?
I knew now as a Flash star. Ezra Miller arrested again on Hawaii Island. Miller played the Flash last month. It doesn't say. It's unclear why he was taken into custody right now, so they don't know. So this is, man, it's it's beyond just sad for the Flash. It's sad for Ezra Miller now. Like he's spiraling. He's spiraling, and somebody needs to figure that, like, be in his life and get him some help right now, or their help right now, because it's Ezra Miller is arrested again. And we're going to talk about the Flash trailer and Black Adam trailer a little bit, but it's going to be tough now. You've got to market a movie. I just watched the Death on the Nile movie with Armie Hammer, and he Armie Hammer was in a lot of trouble. They kind of took him out of all the marketing. And I got to be honest with you, between Amber Heard and Armie Hammer, it's definitely, there's a problem here, because neither one of them are very good at acting, and yet they keep showing up in things, and they're terrible people. I can't figure it out. That's aside from Ezra Miller, but I don't know what's going to happen here, but he needs help. And I think they need help. And I think Warner Brothers needs to step in and get Ezra Miller the help that they need. Definitely, because they are Ezra Miller's employer at the moment between Fantastic Beasts and the Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is too bad. Thanks for sending this to our attention here, Christian. I don't know. I mean, I hope Ezra gets whatever help, like you said, James. But in the meantime, Warner Brothers has a lot of thinking to do. I'll just leave it at that.
A lot of editing to do.
Thankfully, 4 words. Thankfully, they have these 4 words in their back pocket. Jay Garrick, Wally West.
Yeah. Sad news. All right, let's move on to our third email. And who will win the MCU box office, Thor or Doctor Strange? Thank you, Amanda H. Little MCU talk. Like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about Black Adam and Flash later. But let's get into who will win the MCU box office, Thor or Doctor Strange. Thanks, Amanda, for that question. That's a great question. We talk about this quite a bit. It's a coin toss. We talk
Flip
about these
it.
things quite a bit. We just did the Sonic and Super Mario one, and we did Doctor Strange and Batman. And I think Doctor Strange is going to make more opening night than the Batman made its entire run based on its ticket sales. This is a great question because I think Doctor Strange is going to make a banana load of money. I think without the cameos, it's Thor. With the cameos, it's going to be tight. The only thing, Steve, I'll start with you. The one thing that really kind of makes me feel like I don't know what it is if Doctor Strange is amazing, Thor is going to be rewarded for that because people will be on a high and they'll go see Thor. So I'm really the thing with Doctor Strange though is if they like pull a Wolverine and everyone gets their Krasinski, oh god, everyone gets all this stuff. That's the thing that I think can make Doctor Strange bigger than Thor: Love and Thunder. So I am going to on April 19th, I'm going to predict Doctor Strange by a hair.
Yeah, like I said, it's a coin toss. Flip it. But
Flip it. It's Two Faces coin toss though. So
Oh no.
yeah, it's a gimmick coin. I think touching on what you said, the strength of whatever cameos we're going to get in Doctor, because we know they're coming. We know there's going to be something. The title implies it. That's going to affect the word of mouth. If people are saying, "Holy crap, Wolverine's in it! They finally brought in Wolverine," that's going to bring in the people that are on the fence about seeing it right away. Whereas I think Thor, I mean, you're going to get some cameos from Guardians of the Galaxy. You're going to get some cameos, but they're not building up to those cameos. I think Thor's going to be more of a fun movie. It's going to be a fun summer blockbuster, which is what I want in the summer. I'm fine with that. Whereas Doctor Strange, it's neck and neck. I'm going to go with Doctor Strange. I agree with you, James.
Andrew?
First of all, Steve, can you hold that coin up to the camera one more time, please?
Yeah, I got you.
Viewers, I just want you to take a second to appreciate our weird Canadian money. It's 2 colors and it has a bear on it. Isn't that neat?
Ooh.
See, this is what we put up with up here.
$2.
$2. We got a coin for that. Do you? I don't think so. I think I'm going to agree with you guys here. I think it's going to be super close, but I'm giving the edge to Doctor Strange. And the reason why is that Thor: Love and Thunder feels like it is riding the high of Thor Ragnarok. Doctor Strange feels like it is riding the high of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
And that was a hell of a high. So
back to back.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like this is essentially the second half of this story where the world crumbles around them and the multiverse does whatever it's doing. It really does feel like we're watching the second half of that story that the Spider-Man movie started. Whereas the Thor one, as fun as it looks, and as much as I'm looking forward to it, really just feels like the next Taika Waititi Thor movie.
Yeah.
So that gives Strange just a little bit of an edge for, I think, the majority of people. It's part of that same plot line, and that's the hot plot line right now. It's the hot line, if you will. What?
Yeah, I don't think Spider-Man's showing up in it anymore but if Spider-Man shows up, it's going to make $1 billion. Like the minute Spider-Man shows up in anything, Spider-Man's going to make $1 billion. I think they've got a really good shot at they're going to have 2 giant freaking movies coming this summer. And like I said, if Strange is good and the cameos are amazing, Thor is going to make more money than it was going to anyway. And I think Thor was going to make a lot of money to begin with. So it's going to be fun to see. It's going to be fun to see, especially as we're still kind of in the pandemic where it's kind of going like this, and it's hard to say what the world's going to feel like in July. If, in Ontario, they might shut us down for July for all I know. But it's going to be fun to see. It's nice to see people are going back to the theater also. I like that. I like that Sonic made a boatload of money. And Fantastic Beasts apparently is dead. So we'll see. Sonic is a new Harry Potter, which makes me very in a weird way. Actually,
why was Tails there?
Classic quote. Let's move on to actually the Thor: Love and Thunder trailer. We'll do a little trailer talk right now because we got a chance to see it. It is the I saw the numbers earlier. Like it's I think the 7th most watched movie trailer in the first 24 hours in YouTube history or something like that. Like 7's pretty good for a Thor movie, considering where it came from was Thor: The Dark World that everybody hated but me. Like it's pretty far down the road. We've come a long way for it. There's been a lot of the backlash shocked me when I saw the backlash yesterday on this. Apparently people hate Taika Waititi and everyone knew that Natalie Portman was going to be Thor, but I guess they forgot and they got very mad at that as well. I had no issues with either of those. I thought the trailer was fine. I thought the visuals looked amazing. For me, we talked about this. Look, the Guns N' Roses song "Sweet Child of Mine" is fine. I just, for me, that playing a song like that in this trailer just felt very overplayed to me, and it felt uninspired. And Andrew, we shot a movie last summer, and I put a trailer together. I showed you the trailer, and I jokingly put "Sweet Child of Mine" in the middle of it to show to Rob, and be like, "Look, you can put in anything that looks like fun." And I think I proved my point. So I don't know. For me, it was just the song is like it's a gimmick, and I don't think a Thor movie, like an MCU movie, doesn't need a gimmick at this point. And it took me out of it. I don't care, whatever. Steve, I know you're a Marvel shill, so why don't you just so go?
Well,
10 out of 10.
6.5. I enjoyed the trailer immensely. The music didn't take me out. I'm not a Guns N' Roses fan. It doesn't define my childhood, so it didn't bother me at all having it in it. That's why I was quite surprised that you had such a strong reaction to that. I'm like, that's what you got out of that trailer, but. I'm not getting into it. But yeah, as far as the controversy about Natalie Portman, that shocks me because, like you said, it's not that wasn't new information. We all knew she was going to be in it for. Yeah. I feel like we've known that for a year. I don't know when that news first came out, but it's been around, so people should be accepting of that. The biggest controversy in my house, everybody's looked at said, "How is Mjolnir back? Where did he get Mjolnir?" And that's where we all kind of were boggled by. It wasn't the fact that it was a female Thor holding Mjolnir. It's just the fact that Mjolnir was there. What's going on with that? And I want to give a big mention. The thing I liked the most in the trailer, and just visually, it just worked for me. Did you pause and look at Korg's pants and Korg's outfit?
Yes, of course.
It looked like a pro wrestler. It looked great. I love the costume on Korg. So if you haven't seen it, go back and look at the trailer. Just pause it on that, and you can
there is people have been taking stills of that scene, of that shot in the trailer, because it looks like somebody's been digitally erased from the left side of the screen in it. Ooh. Who knows? Speculation.
It's the lizard.
Andrew Garfield punched a lizard. Actually, he kicked the lizard, so suck it. You were all wrong. No, look, the song took me out of it. Whatever, fight me. Andrew, what did you think of it? You have a Marvel show on this channel, Infinity Rewatch, where I think you and Ryan are going to be probably gushing over this trailer for 7 hours tomorrow. So what do you? And Mr. Red says, "Not mine."
Not my Mjolnir.
What do you think, Andrew?
I'll talk mostly about the music situation because I feel like that's an interesting topic here. The trailer was the trailer. It was exactly what we expected. It was
it?
Cool
Teaser,
Thor stuff. Yeah, the teaser was cool Thor stuff. There's a blue-haired pirate lady. Fun, whatever. Looks like fun. The music thing, I think it's a double-edged sword, and I kind of agree with you, James, and I kind of disagree with you. I like when popular music is used creatively in trailers. I think I give Marvel a pass because I could be mistaken here, but I think they started this trend. I think the first Guardians of the Galaxy trailer started this trend, and now every movie ever just has pop music in their trailers. So
no, Third Eye Blind, Semi-Charmed Life was in every trailer in the late 90s.
That's true. But there's the trend that Marvel started where it's like it takes a song and it doesn't just play it, but it tweaks the song a bit and fits it to a certain rhythm and puts the rhythm to the images and drags things out, and suddenly you have a new version of this song that is tailor-made for this trailer. And they do it beautifully, and I've seen other trailers that do it beautifully. I wish I could think of an example right now, but I can't think of like a really good one that just happened was Stranger Things, where they used the Journey song, Separate Ways, Worlds Apart, and they played with that beat, and it's kind of a scary beat, and they took it and used it to amp up the scariness of Stranger Things. So I love when trailers do that. But I agree with you that it's getting overused. So I want Hollywood to be careful with it, and especially from my personal bias is I really just want Hollywood to go back to classic movie scores, like John Williams type themes. And the more we live in the world of this pop music thing, the less likely that's going to happen. So Michael Giacchino, as far as I'm concerned, he's out there doing the Lord's work because he is putting classical themes in big movies again. And I just want to go back to that.
Here, sorry, Steve, go on.
Well, what do you think of the Batman using Nirvana, Something in the Way? I
This is
love
what-
that.
Yeah, this is what I'm gonna say though. Is I feel like "Sweet Child of Mine" is overused as a song. Period. Like I think it was in like a Bounty commercial. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like I agree, like use a pop song, but don't use a pop song that when I turn on the radio, it's gonna come on. Like I guess it's an oldie station. Do you know what I mean? Like the Guardians pull. Like James Gunn is great at like Dirty Work and Suicide Squad was great, but that's not a song that I'm just gonna hear randomly on Spotify. Like I put on something, I'm not gonna hear it randomly. You have to look for it, right? You have to know that song exists. This song is just it was too big a song. I was like, it didn't take me out of it. It was just uninspired. Like those songs you guys are mentioning are inspired songs. And the one thing I did say this to Steve, if this song plays a factor in the movie, I will retract my comments on it in the trailer. Okay, I will say that because also the Nirvana song in the Batman is used in the Batman. And we talked about Star Trek Beyond using Beastie Boys. That's actually in the movie. Like if this song plays a factor in the movie, I will retract my comments. I will come on here and I will say, well, okay, it made sense. But if they're using it just to pump me up, I get it. Like you have the pump up songs. That's why you do it. But the movie should pump me up. It's Thor. It's the MCU. It's colorful. It's all of this. Like I just felt like it was a cop out, and they didn't need to cop out on a movie that's going to make $1 billion. Whether they showed me anything or not, it was going to make $1 billion because Doctor Strange is going to introduce Wolverine, SpiderMan 2099, Punisher, and somebody else. I just had a really good superhero from the 90s in my head. I can't think of his name right now. Oh, he's one of those really annoying ones that came in for like a year and then they're like, oh no, this is too much. Get rid of him. I'm going to have to Google who it was. But anyway, like that's how I feel. I thought visually, I just think Thor is going to be a great movie. It feels like it's going to be great. I don't hate on female Thor, and I'm someone who doesn't hate Chris Pratt still. I do think he's a weird choice to voice every animated character in existence. I think that's a weird choice, but I still like Chris Pratt. I love the Guardians and that scene where it's like look into the eyes of someone you love, and then Thor does that. That was great. I'm like, that's what I'm here for. Let's do it. So I was all in on that. I'm fine with that. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, which is the point. But anyway,
were you sufficiently teased?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't need anything. Like, it didn't need to sell me on the movie. Like, I've seen Ragnarok. I know what this movie's going to look like. You know what I mean? Like, Ragnarok is your tease for this movie, but without the Hulk. You get Guardians instead of the Hulk. So it was, it was fine. Did you guys find that it was sufficiently tease worthy?
I think so. They threw us a bone. I wasn't really expecting there. I'm sufficiently teased with it. It was great.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was a bone. It sets up Natalie. It's not going to be my favorite Marvel trailer in the world, but it did the job it had to. And I think at the very least, Sweet Child of Mine is like classic heavy metal, which is kind of the thing with the new Thor movies. Mm-hmm. If they had played this song, for example, in the trailer for Captain Marvel 2, then I'd be like, okay, this doesn't really fit. So at least there's that.
If there's any superhero Marvel character that's worthy of Guns N' Roses headbanging, I think it's probably going to be Thor.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys this just because I don't know. There's one little quick scene in it where that Thor wearing the fat suits doing the chains thing. And in the background, they showed a giant skeleton with the chains were attached to the collar. Was that somebody we're supposed to? Was that the guy that destroyed Asgard and
Surtur, the fire demon?
Was that supposed to be him, or
I'm assuming, because that looked like where he hangs out. Because I thought the same thing. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know. I guess it's Surtur. I don't remember if he died or not.
I don't think that they showed. I mean, they showed him laying waste to Asgard. I think that was where we left it, right?
Yeah, unless Hulk killed him, and I just can't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm looking for this comic character, and it's just like there's
Funny,
a hobbylark.com has an article 5 reasons comic books in the 1990s sucked, and I'm like, but that's when I was into comics.
Darkhawk.
That wasn't it.
Oh.
What the heck?
Deathlock, the cyborg man.
Ooh.
Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this character was like I think he was kind of like Mr. Fantastic, but Riddler combined. I can't remember if it was DC or Marvel or maybe Image. It was.
Was he in the comics, or did he make any show appearances?
No, it was just comics, and he was in like one. I remember one vividly, and I'm like, this looks like the most annoying comic of all time. And it was in the comic shop for like over a month because you'd always go in. I'm like, are they really trying? I think they were trying to push it because nobody bought it, but I can't remember who it was, and it's driving me insane now.
Plastic Man.
It was probably it wasn't plastic. No, I don't think it was that simple. I think he had a weird name like Quizzer or something.
Oh, what?
Something I don't remember. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Thor: Love and Thunder.
It's not ringing a bell. It's DC.
I don't know. It might have been. I don't. It might have been Image though. I was really big into Image. Oh man, let's talk about the Flash and Black Adam teasers. They're coming. They're coming.
Are they?
At CinemaCon. Apparently, they're going to have them at CinemaCon, which is only a few days away. We're going to get, I think, this weekend. Which I'm fine. Like, look, give me the Black Adam trailer. I think that comes out in October. I feel like we're due for that. We've had very little of Black Adam, and they want to pump us up. You want some goodwill back in your DC WB. Give me something tasty for Black Adam. That being said, the Flash, we just talked a little bit about Ezra Miller's newest problems, and this movie's been delayed since the early 70s, and I don't know. We actually got a teaser for the Flash, which is crazy enough. Like we've seen the Flash teaser, so they're gonna give us another teaser. I don't know what to expect from this one. Andrew, I'll start with you. What are you looking forward to most in the Black Adam or Flash teasers?
Seeing Henry Cavill's Superman show up and spoil the surprise.
You son of a gun!
I'm in the Black Adam teaser. Honestly, I'm looking forward to some Hawkman. I want to see Hawkman. I want to see the Justice Society as much as I can. I'm sorry, Rock. I love you, The Rock, but Black Adam is for me the least interesting part of Black Adam. I also want to see the character of Isis played by Sarah Shahi because she's a cool character too, and I don't think we've seen hide or hair of her in any of the promo material, and I think she's like the leading lady. So like, throw her out there, show us. As far as the Flash one goes, I'd just like a little bit more of a taste of what the story of this movie is, and that's about it, really. Like, what is this movie? What are they doing?
Oh, well, if you go online, you can find out new plot leaks every single day because they can't keep this movie shut. I don't know. They should just release it now. I don't get it. Steve, what are you hoping to see from either of these trailers? Or nothing because you hate DC with a passion.
I want to see Black Adam deliver a rock bottom, and I don't care who to. Just when he needs to lay a smack down on a rock bottom. Actually, the character I'm looking forward to seeing more of is Dr. Fate, Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I was really impressed with what little we saw of him in that initial teaser. If I want to see more of that, and that's really all I can say because I'm not a huge Black Adam fan. I don't know too much about the character, so yeah, give me Dr. Fate. I'll be happy with that. And then Flash, whew, boy, I don't know because especially if Ezra Miller's still having legal they got to be really careful what they're going to put out there because there's been a lot of talk. Will they recast? What will they do? Will they will they take him out of the movie or if they're going to be releasing widespread a new teaser really soon, they got to figure that out real soon because if they put out a teaser with him in it and then a month later say, you know what, we're taking him out, we're going to go reshoot, that's just going to tick off the fans even more. So I don't know what to expect out of that. Hopefully it is a straight teaser and they don't show too much because that'll just get us saying. It's funny because I've been saying we need footage, we need to see something because it's been so long. And now I'm like, ooh, pump the brakes. I don't know if I want to see that. So I don't know.
I want to see something bad, but I want it to come out too. I don't want to wait. Mm-hmm. We got to wait till a year from June, like the end of June. We still got like, I don't, especially when now they're coming in, they're like, we're going to revamp and overhaul. And it seems like we don't have a plan. So just release the damn movie. Let me watch this movie and then you can build your plan after that. I don't know. Nothing makes sense. Oh, Scotty's in the chat right now.
Scotty Hawk, what's up?
Yeah, I hope you have power and everything. He's
Mm.
crying. I'm gonna put that up just to he's crying.
Oh, I love your logo.
I know I hate him. His logos are great. Go subscribe, Scotty Hawks Holocrons on YouTube. He's usually with us today, but there was a April blizzard that hit all of Eastern Canada, America, wherever
Yes,
the
it
hell we
did.
are. Yeah, we all got.
It messed up my filming day at work yesterday. We had to change our whole scene around to accommodate.
Oh
the
no!
blizzard. Yeah.
There's a blizzard in June. We miss you too, Scotty. All right, let's wrap this up with Moon Knight and thing. How about that? We'll wrap it up with some Moon Knight talk. We'll skip the one topic that I put in there. We'll talk about another day. No rush. Moon Knight and Hawkeye. Apparently, Disney Plus has decided that they are going to submit them for best limited series at the Emmys, and this means that there can be no second season. Limited series is one and done. That's it. You're in, you're out. So it looks like Hawkeye is done, which makes complete sense to me. I was fine with Hawkeye. It's Hawkeye. It's, it's like, I don't think we needed much more of Hawkeye and whatever. I was content with what we got. And I really liked Hawkeye, don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
And now Moon Knight, which I am behind on. How many episodes have there been?
3.
I'm behind 3 episodes. Scotty says, thanks for the comment. I'm behind all 3 episodes on Moon Knight. So I'm going to let you guys really take it. Because for me, like Moon Knight might be the same situation where it's like, okay, I get it. That's great. And then you could sprinkle him in wherever you need Moon Knight to appear next and whatever. Andrew, I'll start with you on this one because you do the recap on this channel on Thursday nights on Infinity Rewatch where you guys break down and give the most in-depth analysis you can of that show. So how do you feel about this being just a one and done?
Okay, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I have gone into every single one of these Marvel shows assuming they're all one and done. That's the state of mind I've been in.
Funny you should say that because apparently Loki was supposed to be a one and done, but then they changed it and gave it a sequel. So that's why it will not be in consideration for a limited series, but it was initially meant to be a one and done.
Right. Well, with Loki, at least there's a lot going on there. They needed to kind of add more. But that was one of the cool things about Loki was it was a surprise. It was a genuine, pleasant surprise for me when we got to the end. And it's like, we'll see you in season 2, folks. Because I'm just looking at these all as 6-hour movies. Every one of these shows, that's how I'm looking at it. Same with the Star Wars ones. Even though Mandalorian, they've said like there's a long-term plan, but with everything else, I'm just like, yeah, Ahsoka's going to be like 4 episodes and that's it. Like that's what I'm going into everything thinking. So this news doesn't shock me, but I'm happy that they're being considered for some Emmys. Does that mean? I'm trying to think. I don't remember when the Emmys are because honestly, I don't really care.
It's not that, Andrew. Anyone can submit their show for it. It's for consideration. It doesn't mean
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, Hawkeye was a great show, so it deserves it because Kingpin and other things happened in it, and that means I can only spell good things for Moon Knight because they're considering to send it for Emmy considerations. So beautiful excitement.
Steve?
Well, I mean, if there was a Hawkeye season 2, would you get the Echo series that's supposed to be coming out?
Exactly.
So, there's only room for so many shows, and I love them, and I've been watching them. But yeah, I mean, if you're telling me Hawkeye's limited run now, we only have those 6 episodes, but now we can give you a new Wolverine TV show. It's not happening, but if they're saying we can do that now, well, I would much rather have that versus a Hawkeye season 2. And that's no shot whatsoever to Hawkeye. And Hawkeye, realistically speaking, his tenure in the MCU is on the way out. He's at the twilight of his career. Whereas somebody like Moon Knight, well, they just introduced him. We've only been 3 episodes in. We got 3 left. We're going to want to see more of that. And they set that up for him to appear possibly in other shows that are being speculated on. So I don't know. Give me more. You know what I would love to see, and I'm just putting this out there. I would love to see a Hank McCoy the Beast show. I would love that if they ever get into X-Men, because you got to get into that at some point. They're gonna, and people are clamoring for it at this point, and we don't know when there's going to be an X-Men movie, but hey, let's throw a TV show out there. But you don't want it to be Xavier. You don't want it to be Magneto. You want to be somebody too big. So I think Beast is your perfect one to go with there.
I hope the show's called The Real McCoy.
Oh, perfect. Yes, I love it.
Sky is hyped for Echo. Daredevil and Fisk confirmed, right? I don't think they're official. I think Fisk is officially confirmed.
Fisk better be confirmed.
But I think Daredevil was leaked confirmed. I think that's how it worked. But I think Fisk for sure. I don't know about Daredevil, but Daredevil, they're both in it for sure. And Daredevil's getting a season on Disney Plus as well, which will probably serve. I'm guessing his show will serve as a reboot. Not a reboot. What's it called? A requel. I bet it'll be like a requel of sorts, where they won't say that the events didn't happen, but they won't acknowledge the events of the Netflix shows either. You just kind of, if you have that information, you take it with you, and if you don't, you don't. Kind of like a novel companion piece for a movie. You take it or leave it if you want.
If that's the price we have to pay for getting a new series, okay, I'll accept that.
Yeah, I mean, it still exists. That's people always complain like, well, you're getting rid of it. No, it's still there. You can still check it out. It doesn't go anywhere, and it might not follow the exact same storyline. It might go somewhere else, but that could be a good thing. I mean, it might not be, but it could be a good thing also. Get some fresh blood in there, get some fresh thoughts, and go for it. And Scotty Hawk is just noticing the news about Ezra. He might be late.
Hold on, no, that might be breaking news. Something else might have just happened. We don't know.
No, I think he's.
Oh no! Ezra Miller has cut off James's power. He's gone. It's officially he's Reverse Flash. That's what happened. He is toying with the multiverse. Are you okay? Did Flash hurt you?
I hit the side button on my mouse and I was on Leave Studio. I was hovering over the Leave Studio button. So I left the studio. So hold on, I have to bring the video and the show back in.
I thought geez, Andrew, we're gonna have to stretch here. What's going on?
Yeah. No, I hit the button by accident. I had a good laugh. I think Scotty is watching he's further back in the show. Maybe he's not watching live. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's a lot of fun. Before we go though, Steve, you saw something. I don't know if this is anything worth talking about or not, but you sent me a picture. You were at the store because you're shopping for toys for your children.
Yes, my kids, my non-existing kids. No, we were looking for Lego Minecraft toys for a birthday party. But we were looking at the superheroes because why wouldn't I? I'm in that aisle.
Exactly.
I'm gonna look for it. And just one thing I noticed. Little Lego set for Wolverine, and it had a nice shiny new logo which I've never seen before. And I thought that's interesting because we haven't had any Lego Marvel mutants ever, I don't think. So that one struck me as interesting. The timing of it, well, that kind of times out with Doctor Strange coming out, doesn't it? So something to look for. I don't know. I don't consider it a spoiler. It was just a little Lego mech suit, so like a robot suit for Wolverine, but it looked pretty cool. I liked it, but the logo really popped to me. It looked shiny and colorful, and I don't know. Keep your eyes peeled. I think there might be something to that.
I think we're coming close.
I took what did I do? I can pull something up real quick here, but just a picture I sent to James.
I like colorful logos.
I think we're close. I think we're close to Wolverine making his way into the MCU. I think we're very close to it coming up. We can see that. Oh no, what happened?
Oh, that's not. Ooh, yeah, man. That's his classic logo, and it's shiny and new, like you said. Yeah. That's a very MCU looking logo. Wow, interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
I think we're gonna. I honestly think it's coming. Sandra Bullock has lobbied for Daniel Radcliffe already. Pablo Schreiber from Halo is people have been throwing his name around. Is it Taron Egerton's name has been thrown around? They're all great. I mean, well, Pablo Schreiber is like 10 feet tall, so maybe we go with a shorter Wolverine this time. I kind of hope they get someone like Hugh Jackman, someone I never heard of before.
Yeah,
an unknown. Give him a fresh start.
Yeah, just exactly. Get someone new in there. I mean, that's the one thing though with Wolverine that's going to, when they do bring Wolverine in, they have to do it in a way. I'm trying to think of like who, like I think they did SpiderMan well in the MCU, where you have to do it different from what we got. Change it up a little bit, because we've had Hugh Jackman though for 20 years. He's been a Wolverine for 20 years. It's going to be someone else is going to come in, and we saw how people reacted to Jane Thor. people are going to freak out. That's not my Wolverine, not my Wolverine. That's what's going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
I just want yellow and blue. Give me the spandex.
Did you ever like when you had like the brown and yellow?
No.
Were you ever into the
No.
Those were always
all.
always the comics I would look at and be like, what were they doing here?
I think it's okay, but I prefer the yellow and blue. I'm just tired of him just looking like a dude in a tank top.
Honestly, I think they need to. I think one thing MCU has been phenomenal with, and I think even DC in previously for a little while was making the characters look like the characters. No more. Hey, look, it's the Matrix. They're all wearing leather jackets. Let's get out of that. Yeah, let's get out of that. I mean, but again, the first X-Men movie came out after Batman and Robin, and Blade was a success, and the Matrix were a hit, and they both wore the same clothes, and so X-Men was like, well, let's just wear what they wore in those two. People will watch us. So that's what they did, and I hope we get a legit Wolverine in the future. But we're going to wrap up the show right here. Anything else you guys want to add to the Super Tuesday?
Henry, please come back.
Yeah. Henry Cavill, he's right now he's shooting The Witcher 3 in like some Iceland, like he's in like the coldest weather imaginable. We'll bring you to Hawaii for Superman.
WB, toss a coin to your Henry, please.
Toss a coin to your super. Steve, anything else you want to say?
No, I don't want to get on my usual DC rant today, so not today.
All right, Andrew, show us your book.
All right, fine. You twisted my arm. This is my book Side Scroller. You can buy it on Amazon if you want to help support a struggling young author like me. And you can get it in ebook format if you don't like paperback. And you can hear me on the Rebel Scum Podcast Network on the Marvel show that we have there, Infinity Rewatch, where right now we are talking about Moon Knight, and we're also chronicling our impatient despair because Ryan and I are both simultaneously waiting for 2 different Marvel Kickstarter board games to arrive in the mail, and we are just frothing at the mouth with excitement, and neither of us have gotten our games yet. So you can watch along and listen along with us and feel our immeasurable anxiety as we wait for these games to show up.
The nerd. All right, yeah, and Thursday nights right here you can watch his recap show for Moon Knight right here. It is the most in-depth review show breakdown you're going to get, because you guys go for what, 12 hours?
12 days.
12 days. It's a lot. You guys go for a lot. You guys go for like 2 lengths of the show though, for real.
It's basically like a hunger strike.
You put a microphone in front of you too, and you guys just keep going. All right, everyone, and check him out on youtube.com/Andrew Fantasia as well, where he talks about Succession a lot. All right, everyone. Oh, Michael Wilborn's here. Hi, Michael. We are out of here right now. If you have a topic for us next week, drop it right now, and we'll look at it and we'll go to it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a like and a subscribe. And until next time, may you be the master of your own universe.